And welcome back to JSU Stadium here on the campus of Jacksonville State University. A great shot of the sun setting here in Jacksonville, Alabama, as we continue with our live coverage of the 2017 Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. Going on down on the field as we speak, the coin toss for the next game between Wellborn and Alexandria. There you see the honorary captain for tonight's game, Kathy Ray from Alexandria High School. She graduated from Alexandria in 1994, received a Bachelor of Science degree in secondary education from the University of Alabama, received a Master of Science in secondary education from Jacksonville State, has been an educator for 18 years, coached the varsity cheerleaders for 12 years, currently teaches at Alexandria High School, was recently named the JSU Teacher Hall of Fame secondary district winner for Calhoun County Schools, and she is currently pursuing National Board Teacher certification. And right now, she's giving Coach Frank Tucker the first play of the game. That's what's happening over there.
We're going to have to really pay attention to that one then.
All right, Mickey Shaddricks and Butch Barker joining you now for the play-by-play call of game number 2 of the Calhoun County Spring Jam. And Butch, welcome back to TV 24. Glad to have you back on a high school football game with us.
I tell you, this reminds me of getting ready for JSU's game, so glad to be here. Look forward to watching these two getting after it.
Well, I know you know these two teams very well, and speaking of getting after it, have you ever known an Alexandria or Wellborn team that didn't like to hit?
Boy, these two, I like to say, there's been a lot of things happen through the years, through the decades with these two programs, and one thing you can bet on is they are going to get after each other here tonight.
You know, it's interesting when you look at this matchup this year, look back at last year, these two teams who are perennial playoff participants did not even make the playoffs last year. And I don't know, hadn't done enough research to know, but I doubt there's many years that you could find in one season that both Alexandria and Wellborn did not participate in the postseason.
And I know that both of their coaches, staff, both of their communities were very disappointed. And because of that, I expect these teams to come out here and take this thing a lot more serious, Mickey, than you would normally take a spring game.
Well, and kind of to illustrate that point that you just said, this will be the only game of the 4 in the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree that there will be live kicking. So that kind of says a lot about the two coaches here tonight, I think.
It does, and it tells you they really want to look at all aspects of their football teams, and they want this thing to count. So they've built it up to their players that, hey, we're out here and we want to win this thing. Yes, it's only a spring game, but we're going to approach it as if it's the opening game of the season.
And obviously there's a couple of ways to look at that. You know, you've been a coach, and live kicking can create injury situations, and the last thing you want to do is come out of a spring game with a serious injury to one of your players. The other side of that coin, which is I know the approach that Jeff Smith and Frank Tucker are taking, is if you want to really evaluate, it's hard to do it if you're not going live.
Mickey, you've heard it forever in football about how important special teams are. How are you going to know what you've got there if you don't get out here and take a look at these guys? Now, I understand why you don't, because with the limited number of days, that's another thing you've got to spend time on. But, you know, realistically, you got your offense, your defense, your special teams, and on a normal game situation, they're about equal parts. So I think it's advantageous for both of these teams to get a look at this aspect during the ball game.
And there you see big number 64 has it teed up, ready to kick it off. And that is Chris Beam, and we are underway. Cad Harris on a short kick. Darts across the 30, and Wellborn will set up shop offensively, 1st and 10 at their own 32. And Butch, when you look at Wellborn offensively, they come into the 2017 season, they return 6 starters on offense, but 4 of them are sophomores. So still a lot of youth on the team, even though 6 of their guys back are returning. And the key, though, for Wellborn offensively is their quarterback, Austin McQueen. He's one of those 6, a senior with a lot of experience.
Yeah, this guy makes the decisions. A lot of motion going in different directions. You've really got to play your keys from a defensive standpoint. They're going to run a lot of the same things, but get different blocking angles. That's the advantage of this offense. Going to keep this thing on the ground. This game will go by quickly, simply because that clock's going to continue to run. First play of the game, big pickup on first down, leaves them 2nd and short.
And that's exactly what Coach Smith likes to see, is second and short situations. Not only is there experience returning at quarterback for Wellborn, they've got experience in that backfield with Ked Harris and a couple of the other guys. And hard running by Grayson Chaffin right up the middle, spins across the 45 to the 46. That'll move the chains against this Alexandria defense that returns 5 starters on defense. But talking to Coach Frank Tucker today, hardly any of those returning starters are on that defensive front. He's basically got an entire new defensive line. And
already on that second down play, Mickey, you had a shift. And to be honest with you, Alexandria did not get out there. Had they run a tall sweep or something out there, they could have had leverage on the corner.
Not much running room this time. Javian Thomas stopped for a gain of a couple. That'll bring up second down and 8 at around the 48-yard line. 49.
Nothing but hard-nosed football there. That's pretty much just a straight-ahead power play. Whether you run it out of the wing tee or out of the I formation or out of any formation, that's just man on man. Let's see who's the toughest on this play.
Austin McQueen can throw the football. This is a Wellborn team that obviously likes to run. That is Jeff Smith's philosophy, but this young man can put it in the air. Wellborn does have an effective passing game if they choose to use it. Ked Harris gets the call here over the right side, and not much. So 2 plays in a row, Butch, here the Alexandria defense has defended very well.
Excellent penetration that time by some of those guys up front. Limited this one to a couple of yards. Even on a bad play, Mickey, they still got 2. So it's third down and 5. And again, you let this offense get moving and you don't end up with many plays for your offense.
That's right.
Because they control the clock so much.
And good surge defensively that time for Alexandria. Number 30, Devin Burton, the sophomore linebacker, coming in to make the stop. And that'll force a punting situation.
And I can tell you right now, Coach Smith is not going to be happy about the fact there's so much penetration by those white jerseys. And on the other side, Coach Tucker's going to be thrilled about that. But again, not happy that you got that much defensive pressure. Doesn't allow your backs to get the corner where they wanted to, have that lead blocker out in front of them.
Romeo Dye, upcoming junior, is standing back at his 22, awaiting the kick from Jet Smith. And it is non-returnable. The official will step it up to the 28, and that is where Alexandria will take over 1st and 10. And even though Wellborn didn't score, they did pick up a couple of first downs and 3 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter.
And they turned the ball, the field position over, you know, so not a great starting place for Alexandria. They're on 28. Again, you're going to see basically the same thing from the Valley Cubs. Running attack, keyed by Keenan Woodruff, their outstanding senior running back.
One of 6 returning starters on offense for Alexandria. In the first offensive play from scrimmage, Grayson Chaffin, I mistakenly called him as, I put him in there for Jermion Curry for Wellborn last possession, but this is Chaffin, and he slams in there for a big gain on 1st down.
Yeah, Grayson's had a tremendous career already at Alexandria. You're going to see a lot of this young man carrying that football for the Valley Cubs in this coming season.
Saw Jacob Wells there also. He is the new Alexandria quarterback. He will be a junior next season. And here is the pitch, a huge hole for Woodruff. A flag flies, and this is going to be a touchdown for Keenan Woodruff, who Butch mentioned returning running back for the Valley Cubs, but this penalty is back at the 37, so we'll have to see what the call is here.
Boy, what a great job blocking down and then pull a lineman to kick out. Gaping hole there, but it's all coming back on the penalty.
Tough break for the Valley Cubs. We saw Weaver have a big touchdown call back in their game against Ohatchee, and this one would have been the first points of the game, but instead, Coach Frank Tucker see his team have to snap it from back inside the 30. Coach Tucker, entering his 11th season, there you see his career record at Alexandria, has led the Valley Cubs to the playoffs 8 of his 10 years. Had a great year in 2015. Very heartbreaking 5A semifinal loss to Mortimer Jordan out at Alexandria that robbed them of a chance to play for a state championship. And what made that so frustrating is they had already beaten Mortimer Jordan on the road in the regular season and had that game.
But it was an unbelievable game the first time, Mickey, and the second one the same way. I mean, gosh, what a battle that was.
So here is Woodruff getting the call, being patient, waiting on his blocks. Nothing much opened up, though. Joseph Harris for Wellborn. There you see him, good-looking linebacker, making the stop from behind at the 32 for a gain of 4.
Now, third down and about 6 to go. Alexandria would prefer to keep this on the ground. See if, because it's a spring game, you might see them open up their offense a little bit more.
Valley Cubs will need to take it to the 38. So 3rd and 6. They overload the right side of the formation and pitch it to Woodruff. He's got plenty of blockers and plenty of room in front of him. Ked Harris giving chase, and Harris will at least slow him down long enough for some help to arrive, and that is Jamyron Curry coming in to actually make the tackle down at the Wellborn 32. So a big play here.
Again, great angles by those guys up front. That's by design. You block down, pull one of your linemen, get the angle for the kickoff or the kick out or the seal on the corner, and give it to your talented running backs, and it results in a big first down pickup all the way down to the 31.
First Valley Cub first down of the game, and it comes on a big running play. And here's give to Chaffin. Stop behind the line, but a good second effort and a good surge inside the 30 to get something out of that play.
Yeah, outstanding job by Wellborn at the point of attack. You can see no movement at all. Grayson, though, lowers his head, keeps those legs driving, ends up making a positive play out of it for the Valley Cubs.
So 2nd down and 8 at the Wellborn 29 as we're already near the halfway point of the first quarter. Alexandria on their first possession of the game. On the move. Here's to give to Chafin again, and a nice cut. And he's going to be gang tackled inside the 20. That's going to be a gain of about 10 yards, and it'll be another Alexandria first down.
Good hard run again, good blocking at the point of attack. Got to like some of the things I saw from those guys in the black jerseys too, coming up being aggressive defensively, but a nice pickup for Alexandria and another first down.
And a timeout on the field with 6:25 left in our first quarter. And Alexandria and Wellborn doing battle here early at the Calhoun County Spring Jam.
The 2017 college football season kicks off in Montgomery. The Guardian Credit Union FCS kickoff will open the college football season on Saturday, August 26th at 5 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Don't miss 2 of the nation's top-ranked FCS teams, the Jacksonville State University Gamecocks and the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs at historic Crampton Bowl. Visit GuardianKickoffClassic.com for the FanFest schedule of events and game information.
You will take more than 672 million breaths throughout your lifetime. Yet life is not measured by the number of breaths you take, but by the moments that take your breath away. JSU is proud to offer Northeast Alabama's only Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Therapy. Now enrolling tomorrow's breathing specialist. Breathe easy.
And back at the Spring Jam, 1st and 10, Alexandria at the Wellborn 18. Here's the pitch to Woodruff, and he will be taken down from behind. Once again, that's Joseph Harris on his 2nd tackle of the night. He had some help as well. Short gain, and they'll give him about a yard gain.
Great pursuit by the Panthers that time, Mickey. I think you ended up with at least 10 in the black shirts over there around the ball carrier before it was over with.
Again, the rules for this one, it is a 4-quarter game. The varsity players, if you will play the first 3. Then the junior varsity B team guys will play the 4th quarter. We have live kicking in this game, basically a a regular football game here at the Calhoun County Spring Jam, and a timeout now by Alexandria. So while the teams talk it over, we will keep it right here. It's going to be second down and still about 10 yards to go for the Valley Cubs. There's a look at Wellborn coach Jeff Smith. He has led the Panthers to the playoffs 7 of his 8 years. Matter of fact, last year, his 8th season was the first time they did not make the playoffs since he had come back to Wellborn. Coached at Ohatchee, had some good years there. Coached at Hueytown as well. There you see his career record. But the thing I want to point out about Coach Smith tonight, that's really, and of all those stats we just gave, this is what he's most proud of. He told me earlier this week in this game he's got a player, he's got a son playing, his son Jet. He's got a son coaching who just walked out of the frame there, Judd, who played for him a few years ago. He's got a daughter cheering. So he and his wife Lisa are well represented in this game tonight.
Yeah, and that's a fun time for your family when all of that's going on.
Second down and 10 for the Valley Cubs as we come out of the timeout. I formation. Chaffin is stopped at about the 15-yard line. First man there, Jamyron Curry, number 5 for Wellborn. So it's going to set up a third down and about, we'll call it third down and 6.
I think they're taking a heat timeout.
So a timeout on the field. We'll take the break with them. 5:38 to go in our first quarter.
One sound, one school, one family. Walter Wellborn High School Student Council. Go Panthers!
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
And it's turned into a very nice evening here in East Alabama at the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. Woodruff gets the call on third down, and he's going to be stopped short. The Wellborn defense tightening up here, and got an injured Wellborn player. I believe that is Jet Smith, number 9, who lost his helmet. And there you see Jet. That is Coach Smith's youngest son, who we were speaking of a moment ago. It's going to be 4th down and 4, so a decision coming up here for the Valley Cubs. And gosh, you wonder if maybe the headgear malfunction there is kind of what it looks like. They're going to take a look at it. And Jet. See if we can see it here. There's the helmet comes off. Maybe got poked in the eyes, what we're being told possibly happened. So here we go, 4th down and 4. Alexandria to go for it. Here's the pitch to Woodruff. Cuts it up inside, and it's going to be close. He needed to get near the 8, and the officials got his foot down at around the 9. And he did not get there.
Good effort by both teams. Watch Woodruff keeping these legs driving, trying to get the first down yardage. Oh, came up just short. Again, credit that Wellborn defense. If you don't stay with that one, Mickey, to the whistle blows, you let him get the first down, keep the drive going. So good job by Wellborn keeping their intensity until he's actually on the ground, and thus stopping the drive and taking over on offense.
And number 7, Javian Thomas, did a good job with his containment, forcing Woodruff inside, kind of slowed his momentum there. And the pursuit caught up to him. So Wellborn takes over. Both teams picking up a couple of first downs on their first possession, but no points And Wellborn starts this drive inside their 10. Queen hands off to Ked Harris. And the football came loose, but the officials, I think, are saying he's down at the 12.
The whistle certainly did not blow.
Nope, they're going to give it to Alexandria. So, first turnover of the game.
Costly, too, down here, deep in their own territory.
They saw the strip there at the end, and there's
Well, I tell you, that's all that was.
yeah.
Is he just took the ball away. Did Romeo die? Well, that's a nice play.
Harris was on his way down. They stripped it out of him, and so Alexandria gets the first turnover of the game, and they've got it right back where they had it with a first down. Wells to put it in the air to die, and can't get away from the Wellborn defense and Jamiron Curry at about the 9-yard line, so a gain of about 4.
That's a nice pass by Wells. You know, that's an aspect that Alexandria really has not been able to exploit. You've got to stack in there to stop their run, and they haven't thrown the ball that well, at least not last year. But if Wells can come out and complete a few passes and make them multi-dimensional, that's going to give defenses even a greater headache as they try to prepare for the Valley Cubs.
Second down and 6. Alexandria can get a first down at the 3-yard line. Double handoff. Here's Chafin, and he's in. Got a good block by Josh Tucker, the wide receiver, and that's all he needed to get across the goal line. So Wellborn, or Alexandria, comes up with the game's first turnover, and they turn it into points.
Yeah, misdirection, hand it going one way and then hand it back going the other, seal it on the corner. Grayson Chafin goes in untouched for the first touchdown. Well executed play, good blocking up front, good blocking downfield. Again, Chafin goes in untouched. Alexandria's got all this motion and everything going in different direction. You really have to play fundamental, sound football defensively to keep up with where the ball is. Of course, Wellborn does pretty much the same thing out of a little bit of a different look on the other side.
And Wells does a nice job completing that one in the end zone to Joe Tucker, and that is a 2-point conversion for Alexandria to increase their lead to 8-0 with 3:56 to play here in the first quarter.
Nice throw, just the fade route, thrown right on the money, results in 2 points. And I was interested to see if Alexandria might have someone they felt confident in kicking extra points. You know, it's been a couple of years since they've even done that. They almost always go for 2. A lot of times it's helped them. There's been a couple of occasions where it was detrimental. In fact, going back to that Mortimer Jordan game, where the fact that they weren't able to convert on a 2-point conversion was huge in the outcome of the game in the playoffs. At the same time, the fact they did, Mickey, during that regular season game was big for Alexandria coming out on top.
That's right. And so here's the kick, a line drive kick, fielded at the 15-yard line. And this is Calvin Spinks, and he returns it out to the 27. So now Wellborn, trailing 8-0, take back over for their third possession. They put a couple of first downs together on their first drive. Then they turned it over on the first play of their second drive. So if Wellborn can kind of get something established here on this one.
Yeah, turnovers, boy, that's a big-time no-no in Coach Smith's book, any coach. But for sure in this type of offense, you can't turn the ball over and give the other team a short field.
Inside your own 10,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, that always hurts.
McQueen on a keeper, and he is upended behind the line of scrimmage by Nate McCallum of Alexandria. So good play behind the line for the Valley Cubs. That play loses 2 yards.
Yeah, Mickey, always the tendency is to watch what those backs are doing and watch where the football is. But right now, what's happening is the line of scrimmage is being controlled by those guys up front for Alexandria. Wellborn's going to have to do a little bit better job getting some movement. Jeff does a great job with giving his guys angles and that kind of thing, but they got to get some movement up front.
And they're just not getting it. No running room at all for Javion Thomas. He got back to the original line of scrimmage plus maybe a half yard, so it's going to be, well, they're going to mark him back down at the 26. So 3rd down and 11 now for Wellborn, and this is definitely not a good spot for Wellborn offense.
No, not what they like to be in, whether it's because they haven't executed on offense or whether it's a penalty situation. Don't like to find themselves in 3rd and long.
Let's see what they dial up here. And they're going to get a little help. I think there was some movement by the left tackle for Alexandria, unless he was drawn off.
Yeah, and that's never a good penalty. If you're going to make that mistake, you want to make it wide open. In other words, you're blowing off the ball and exploding out of there. Taking that little jab step and it results in 5 yards, not going to be happy coaching staff, I promise you, when you go back and review that one.
Quay Williams, the guilty party. So 2nd down, or 3rd down and 6 at the 31. McQueen rolling out, gets the pass away. It is caught out at the 47. Nice job of holding on to that football by Dylan Grubbs, because he took a shot after he caught it.
Look at McQueen under pressure here, and he throws this thing. You see he had to fall away, Mickey, in order to avoid the defender, and delivered this in a very tight window. I mean, you can't throw it any better than that. Terrible form because he didn't step into it. He's falling away, but he had to do that in order to give himself enough time to get the ball off.
That was a big 1st down, too.
And I'm telling you, that is a great throw by that young man.
They keep the football, keep the drive going. Oh, and a great tackle by Romeo Dye, because Javion Thomas was 1 step away from a big play.
It looked like he had the corner. Dye, the one that came up with the big turnover when he stripped the ball away from the running back. Look, it looks like he's got the edge, but Dye just goes down, takes his legs out from under him, end up with basically no gain. Well, excuse me, they did get 2 on the play.
And could have been a whole lot more.
And one thing about Wellborn is that look how close their backs are to the line of scrimmage. Because of that, sometimes a play that looks like it doesn't pick up anything, and you look at it like I did then, and they got 2 yards, because normally most of these offenses are setting up so deep with their backs that would have been for no gain.
So Coach Smith calling a timeout here on 2nd down and 8 with 1:13 to play here in the 1st quarter.
No, both of these teams are going to be predominantly running attacks. But the thing that I've liked thus far is to see both these quarterbacks throwing the ball well. It adds something else that you can take advantage of as an offense, and something else that your opponents have to prepare for defensively if you're able to throw that ball every now and then. Neither one of them's going to throw it much. If they get in double-digit passes, it's a big passing night. But, you know, if you can take advantage of that every now and then and come up with a big play like Wellborn did on that previous pass play, which, again, was great execution by McQueen and his receiver. They both came up with big plays to convert that 1st down yardage.
2nd down and 8, right about the 45-yard line. Little screen pass, incomplete. It was intended for Calvin Spinks. And so that'll make it 3rd and long. Another 3rd and long for Wellborn. They converted their last one, and they've got another one here.
Had a little bit of space there. I think he's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards if he comes up with a catch. Maybe the throw's a little bit high, but I believe that's when you got to pull in, and something they'll work on over the summer, 7-on-7 camps, all of that type of thing. They'll get better in their passing attack. I think you've got a quarterback that can throw it. See if you've got some receivers that can catch this ball on a consistent basis, so Coach Smith feels confident in putting the ball in the air.
So 3rd down and 8 at the 45. And another whistle. And did we get another timeout? Another timeout on the field by Wellborn. That's 2 in a row. We'll take a break and return to JSU Stadium in just a moment.
Huge hailstorm equals huge savings at Buster Miles Ford in Heflin. Come experience a stress-free buying process during our hail sale and save thousands. Over 300 vehicles must go. The damage so small on some and saving so big on others. We have brought the professionals in to fix the cars right. Work has begun for our loss and your gain. Come take advantage of these savings, hopefully never to be seen again. Buster Miles Ford in Heflin off I-20 exit 199. The difference worth driving since 1947.
Here at Ohatchee High School, we're very excited to have our new construction going on. As you can see behind me, we have a brand new field house going up. Just the last few years, we've had a 14 classroom addition and also a brand new parking lot going in. Thanks to Mr. Dyer and our Board of Education, it's a great opportunity for our kids. Row Tribe.
And we are back, and on 3rd down and 8, Wellborn tried a pass play and it was incomplete, so it'll be 4th down for the Panthers at the 45. And I tell you, Coach Smith's going to have to figure out a way to stay out of these 3rd and long situations.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, Mickey, what happened there was Wellborn lined up in a offensive set where you knew they were passing the ball, and Alexandria was able to one, send a rush in, and 2, play pass coverage, and that is not the forte of the Panthers.
And more troubles for Wellborn. And again, we mentioned this is the only game in the Calhoun County Spring Jam where there's live kicking, and that snapped way over the head of Jet Smith. He had no choice but to just run back and fall on it. So for the 2nd time in a row, Alexandria is going to get this football inside the Wellborn 20.
Wow, that's huge. I always said, you know, we talked about it before we started this thing, that the special teams play such a big role, and Alexandria now starting deep in Wellborn territory on this, their 3rd possession.
And so the Valley Cubs with a chance to add to their lead. Still a minute to play here in the 1st quarter. And here's the handoff to Woodruff. And breaks 1 tackle, then is taken down at about the 11-yard line. First man there was Walker Hayes, the strong safety. He held on till help arrived, so it'll be 2nd down and 3.
One thing you got a lot about Keenan Woodruff is the fact that he takes that contact, Mickey, but at the end he ends up falling forward, picking up a couple of extra yards, or at least an extra yard. I mean, that didn't look like much of a play, and he ended up picking up 7 on it.
2nd down and 3 as we near the end of the 1st quarter. The Valley Cubs can get a 1st down at the 7. Give right up the middle. Woodruff is going to have the 1st down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 5. And when they wind the clock, that'll most likely be the final play of the 1st quarter. The teams will switch ends.
Great blocking at the point of attack there by the Valley Cubs. Made it easy for Woodruff on that play.
So that is the end of the 1st quarter. Alexandria leading Walter Wellborn by a score of 8-0. They'll have it 1st and goal when we come back to the Calhoun County Spring Jam.
For great food and great service and a great atmosphere, come and see us at Top of the River in Anniston. At Top of the River, all of our products are prepared fresh daily with our own special recipes, including our farm-raised, grain-fed catfish. Large groups and private groups from 50 to 250 are welcome, and reservations are accepted 7 days a week. And ask about our full on-site catering, family-owned and operated since 1982, and always kid-friendly. Top of the River in Anniston.
The moment rain hits the ground, it begins a journey through your neighborhood. Along the way, this stormwater encounters a lot of harmful stuff, including excess fertilizer, yard clippings, motor oil, even pet waste. Water then carries these pollutants into the storm drain and directly into the nearest river, lake, or stream, polluting our waterways. Visit cleanwatercampaign.com for more. Help be a solution to water pollution.
And we are back at JSU Stadium. Mickey Shadricks and Butch Barker with you. John Holder is down on the field, and it is time to begin the second quarter. Alexandria and Wellborn. Game 2 of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree, brought to you by the fine folks at F&M Bank, their sponsorship of the Calhoun County school system here in their Spring Jamboree. F&M Bank is holding a halftime football toss contest. We'll have live coverage of that coming up at halftime of this game, as well as the 2 games tomorrow night. First and goal, Chafin is in. So first play of the second quarter, Alexandria scores their second touchdown of the night, and Chafin has scored both of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, Mickey, you got to give those guys up front. Take a look. Good blocking, nice cut by Chafin. Right into the hole. He makes the break to the right. Because of that, he's able to get into the end zone, but got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line and the fullback for the Valley Cubs.
So Alexandria to go for 2. Here's the pitch to Romeo Dye, and he walks in untouched. So two two-point conversions here after their 2 touchdowns, making it a 16-0 Alexandria lead.
11 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the first half. Alexandria 16.
And so Wellborn, Butch, needs to find some kind of rhythm offensively. They had a pretty good first drive going. They picked up, 2 or 3 first downs, moved it across midfield, but then the big turnover by Romeo Dye, who you see on the screen there coming up, that seemed to change the whole complexion of the game when they got that turnover, then punched it in for the first points.
Well, I mean, Mickey, you think about it. Wellborn got it, picked up a couple of first downs. Then they were able to stop Alexandria after they pick up 2 or 3 first downs, but they turn the ball over to give up the point. Then they get the ball back and come out and drive it to midfield again, but snap the ball over the kicker's head. So, I mean, those are huge things as to why the score is 16-0, but they're little things as far as being able to correct. I mean, they've played pretty much on an even basis here, and yet they trail by 16 because of the mistakes.
And they'll get a break here. This kick will go out of bounds, so they'll have very good field position to start this drive.
Now, Mickey, that's going to be a huge teaching point there. That ball, no one from Wellborn ran over near that. And if that ball kicks and stays in bounds, it's a live ball. So Alexandria recovers that and takes over possession again. I can promise you Coach Smith and his staff will be going, hey, you don't give up on that until it's out of bounds, not because you think it's going out of bounds.
So let's see what Wellborn can do with good field position. They begin this drive from their 35. Here's the give to Kent Harris. Chafin makes the hit at the 37. Harris falls forward to close to the 38. Short gain, though, 2nd down and 7.
Mickey, again, because of formation, Alexandria did not adjust to the unbalanced line, and Wellborn should have had the opportunity there to block down and been able to get to the corner, but because of the penetration of those guys up front for the Valley Cubs, the running back never made it to the corner.
Actually a gain of only 2 as they mark him down at the 37, 2nd and 8. Here's the pitch to Harris, and they're able to get him around the corner that time with the wide pitch. So he's very close to a first down, knocked down about a half yard short just across the 44-yard line.
Ethan Darnell, number 71 for the Valley Cubs, has done a great job from his offensive lineman position, but also over here playing the down lineman from a defensive standpoint is doing a tremendous job. Wellborn with a good pickup, though, on the quick pitch there.
So 3rd down and less than a yard, and they get the first down. Jamyron Curry fighting for it. Picked up about 3 yards to the 47. So that is another Wellborn first down as they move the chains.
Curry, a big young man. I tell you what, he's going to be tough to stop on those short yardage situations. Wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't break a couple of them during the fall season when people are looking for those other backs, and he breaks it right up the middle. Big athletic kid.
1st and 10. McQueen with a fake. Tried to follow his lead blocker by Harris, but he never had a chance because he was wrapped up right away by the big defensive tackle for Alexandria.
I believe that's Brandon Best. They got the penetration that time for the Valley Cubs. Like you said, McQueen had no chance.
So 2nd and 10 basically now, and again, Wellborn trying to stay out of these 3rd and longs, which have really hurt him. McQueen rolling to his right, looking to throw, and just throws it away.
And that was a wise decision. He absolutely had no one open on that play. And I know, again, this is not something that the guys get to work on that much, but those 3 receivers that were out on that route weren't doing a whole lot to help their quarterback out. When he had to scramble to try to find a receiver, they were pretty much just kind of 3/4 speed drifting across the field. That's when you got to really work to give your quarterback a spot to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. There was nobody even on that that could have even been an option for him.
Absolutely no one to throw the ball to.
3rd and 10. Harris trying to throw. A flag comes in. Harris will just tuck it under and run for what he can get, which is nothing. I think there is a flag on the wide side of the field. So we'll see if this gives Wellborn one more opportunity here, if it's against the defense. And a sideline warning against Alexandria. So it'll be 4th and 10, and Jet Smith is back in to punt. We'll have to watch the snap. Last time it sailed over his head.
Against Alexandria.
Snap good here. Smith drops it. And again, another miscue on the punt team, and Alexandria is going to have it for the 3rd straight time in Wellborn territory.
You know, all of this is happening now. From a coaching standpoint, you're going to be frustrated. But think about this, Mickey. You're getting to see this now. You get to work with your kids on this now. If this happens your first ball game, how frustrated would you be? Instead, now you know these are aspects that you guys have got to work on. And I can promise you when that first game comes around, this won't be happening. 9 days, and you had to put in all of this stuff, you know, you just haven't had much time to work on your kicking game.
So Alexandria, 1st down at the Wellborn 40, already up 16-0.
Great field position. Start this, their 4th drive of the night.
Wells looks to throw, and he's going to be sacked. Football comes loose. They're going to throw a flag.
Wow, I'm really surprised that the whistle blew there. That looked like that ball came out going backwards. I know it's really, really close. Intentional grounding.
So intentional grounding here against Wells. There you see the pressure coming right up the middle by.
It's when somebody be going crazy during the season on whether that ball came out and was a lateral, which made it a live ball. And there's another situation where Wells will learn from that. Better to just take the sack than to compound it by making a turnover if that had been ruled a fumble, which it very easily could have been.
So 2nd down and 12. A swing pass is complete. A big gain here for Alexandria. That is Tucker on the receiving end of that one. Good yardage after the catch, all the way down inside the Wellborn 25-yard line.
And Mickey, I talked about the passing game for Alexandria. Look, they haven't had much of a passing game, but in order to stop their running attack, you have to stack the line of scrimmage. So if you can just throw a ball like that one, where it's an easy throw, get it in the hands of Tucker, one of your good athletes. He's got one-on-one coverage. One man misses, you got a big play, as was shown there when Alexandria completes a little short throw, and yet it picks up big yardage.
One of two sons Coach Tucker has playing in this game tonight, Joe and Josh. Romeo Dye sweeping right, nowhere to run as he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by the Wellborn defense that time.
Yeah, Joseph Harris, the first one to get there. Great job of containment, turned him back into his teammates. No gain on that play.
So second down and 10 for the Valley Cubs. Wellborn they're dressing out 50 tonight. Of course, a number of those will play in the fourth quarter. Alexandria has a pretty good number on their sideline, but as you mentioned, these kids haven't had a whole lot of practice time, so interesting to see how fatigue might come into play as we get into the third quarter. Jacob Wells, a nice quarterback run all the way down inside the 10. Going to be a first and goal for the Valley Cubs. He picks up 16 yards on that play.
And what a nice job of picking the correct way to go here. No room on the end. He turns it back inside, then makes another couple of nifty cuts and gets down to the 10-yard line. Another dimension of this running attack by the Valley Cubs. Again, credit those guys up front, though. They are doing the bulk of the work, but a nice job of reading the openings there by Wells and taking maximum advantage on that running play.
Chafin takes the pitch and gets around the corner, slams inside the 10. Hard running down to about the 7 or 8 yard line, depending on where they spot him down. They'll put him down at the 8.
Yeah, missed tackle that time. Probably should have been a loss on the play. Good effort by Chafin to get that ball down inside the 10 and pick up a couple yards on the play.
So second and goal for the Valley Cubs is we go under 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
And we're down to like 6 on the play clock. They better hurry. Gonna have to use timeout.
Timeout by Alexandria to avoid the delay of game with 6:41 to play here in the second quarter. We'll continue with our live coverage of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree.
When it comes to great tasting barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Dad's Barbecue is slow hickory cooked to perfection, and Dad's menu includes a wide selection of popular items such as our smoked chicken sandwich, ribs, salads, and the best chicken fingers in town. And Dad's offers fresh homemade hamburgers and hand-dipped ice cream shakes. Dad's utilizes the latest technology to ensure that your orders are always accurate and hot out of the kitchen. Family owned and operated since 1985, Dad's Barbecue with 2 locations in Anniston to serve you.
Hi, this is Kevin Riggin with the all-new Tameron Honda in Gadsden. We're excited to be one of the newest and fastest growing Honda dealers in Central Alabama. And with every new Tameron Honda, you get a 250,000-mile powertrain guarantee. I've personally been serving Central Alabama for over 25 years with all your Honda needs. Come see me today or check out our website at TameronHondaGadsden.com. Tameron Honda in Gadsden, where you're going to love the way you're treated.
And we are back. Second down and goal for Alexandria at the 8-yard line. The give to Dye right up the middle, fighting for yardage, and is down just short of the goal line as he is slung to the turf by Calvin Spinks. But hard running by Romeo Dye. It'll set up a third and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
I tell you what, Alexandria's got 3 talented running backs. But again, give credit where it's due. Those guys up front are winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
So again, Alexandria half yard away from another touchdown. Wells on the sneak and no signal yet. Now we get a touchdown signal.
Ran an unbalanced line. Not much movement up front, but enough where Wells can get that football across the goal line. Take a look. Not a whole lot happening there movement-wise, but Wells able to break the plane with the football and touchdown. Third touchdown for Alexandria.
Jet Smith made it tough. He came through there and fit the run pretty well, but when you only have half a yard to go, unless you get someone penetrating through a gap, it's just about impossible to stop that.
Yep. Guard blocked down. Quarterback able to follow him in there and get enough for the touchdown.
Try for two once again. Wells under pressure, gets the pass away, and it is caught. That is Tucker again. Those two have hooked up several times here in the first half, and that'll make it 24-0.
And watch the way Wells is able to avoid the defender, allows him to have time to find Tucker for the two-point conversion.
So 5:52 left here in the second quarter. It has been all Alexandria. Miscues in the kicking game have really hurt the Panthers here in this first half, but credit Alexandria because they have taken advantage of their opportunities. And we do have they are using the heat timeouts here. First dead ball under 6 minutes, so that's why we have a brief stoppage here at the 5:52 mark. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll have live coverage of the F&M football toss competition. We have competition going on at each half of each game. Then we'll have the final segment of that competition at halftime of the Sachs Russellville game tomorrow night. Russellville is the 8th team in the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree this year. They have 7 county schools, of course, and they always bring in an 8th team, and it's Russellville this year. So that's a pretty well-known program coming in here tomorrow night.
I was going to say, why don't you go out and get a little weak kid in there to bring in? Russell, great tradition of having some very good football teams. And again, Mickey, you talked about the mistakes for Wellborn. Boy, a turnover to begin with. Then you snap the ball over the punter's head, and then you come back and you get a good snap, and you fumble the snap. So everything pretty much that can go wrong has gone wrong for Wellborn in the kicking game.
Trey Prim will kick it off for Alexandria. And it is loose. Finally, Spinks ran it down, but that was a ground ball nobody could field cleanly. So it'll be Wellborn football first down at the 24.
An oblong football takes some funny bounces. You know, Alexandria is going to have some times when they're going to kick this thing off like this, and teams are going to get great field position because of it. But that hasn't happened tonight. I mean, every time Wellborn started inside the 35, this time inside the 25.
Let's see if Wellborn can mount a drive here in the remaining moments of the first half. Double handoff and a big run here, but a flag comes in. Javion Thomas picked up about 17 yards, a huge play for Wellborn, but is this going to be negated by a penalty?
This is pretty much the same play that Alexandria ran on their first touchdown, Mickey, where you've got the misdirection going one way, hand it back going the other. You're able to get the corner. But again, it looks like this one's coming back, and that's been the biggest play offensively for the Panthers of the night, unfortunately coming back.
Just a huge, huge penalty. Instead of having it first down out across the 40, you get a holding call, and they're still walking back inside the 10.
Yeah, that's tough from a morale standpoint.
And another stoppage in play. I think one of the officials is questioning the spot of the foul and the mark off, I think, because that's a pretty significant mark off right there.
Yeah, I think they had the ball like at the 23 or 24, and they're down to the 10. The ball definitely was not on the 20. But I take it they are penalizing this from where the hold occurred. Because you're right, it ended up being about a 13-yard penalty on a half the distance. So I'm taking it that the hold must have happened at the 20-yard line.
So here's the handoff to Ked Harris. And Harris with a nice run out across the 20 and actually gets back most of the penalty yardage. And it'll be 2nd down and 12.
And I'm going to tell you, that is the best job that those guys up front have done in opening up a hole. Look at that. Great job, great lead block. Couple of blocks where they got the angle to either kick out or, excuse me, or block down, and a big play for the Panthers.
So 2nd down and 12. And this is Thomas. Not much running room as he's up to about the 26. Going to make it 3rd down and 8 for Wellborn.
Another one of those 3rd and long situations that the Panthers so dislike and yet have found themselves in consistently tonight.
So 3rd down and about 8 to go from the 26. Here comes that Alexandria pressure, and the pass is away and caught up at the 32. Nice job by McQueen just getting it away to Jamarian Curry, but not enough yardage.
Yeah, and there was a hold that was not called there because one of the defenders for Alexandria broke through. And you know, that was one that I don't necessarily think that was bad for that guy to do that, because if he doesn't, McQueen gets hit before he ever has time to turn around. But it's going to be short. Whoever may go for it here.
4th and 3. They're coming out to go for it, I think.
I mean, why not?
And again, really the varsity players will only play 3 quarters, so we're obviously more than halfway through that portion of the game.
The play clock ran out. So now it'll be 4th and 8.
And that changes the decision process. Here comes the punting unit. Of course, with the way the punting unit has done, a high snap and a drop snap.
We haven't seen a punt yet.
But as you mentioned, that's part of the process. You want to work on these things now, not when the games count.
No, that's exactly right.
Good snap. And the kick is out of there. Hits at the 50, takes a little bit of a Wellborn roll down to the 41. So Alexandria will get it back. 1st and 10 at their 41. 3:05 to play here in the first half.
Alexandria has 1 timeout remaining, so you'd think they've got plenty of time to move this thing down the field. See if they want to look at Wells throwing the ball a little bit more here as we get closer to the half.
Good field position. We'll see how the Valley Cubs decide to play it here. Flag on the play. Romeo Dye out across the 45 to the 46. But we're going to have a motion penalty against the Alexandria offense.
And I believe Tucker was in there at quarterback on that play. So again, one of those things you do in the spring, you want to look at multiple people. Tucker's played that position before, and Coach Tucker wanted to take a look at him there again. He was in on the previous play. Let's see if he remains at quarterback. And I believe he will.
So Joe Tucker will be a sophomore next season. He's played wide receiver up until this point, is in there now at quarterback for Jacob Wells.
Already made a couple of good catches.
And the give to the fullback, that is Devin Burton. Picks up a yard maybe out to about the 37-yard line.
Alexandria would love to break one here, but I think they may be content to keep it on the ground and hope that they're able to break one. We have a stoppage here, maybe equipment. It is.
Jamyron Curry will have to come out of the game.
Now, you'll know if Alexandria's trying to run some clock here, because they'll let this play clock run down, if they are, because they still have 25 seconds to use.
Well, they're clearly in no hurry, that's for sure. Second down and long. And the ball carrier for Alexandria, maybe a yard on that play. I think we had a new back in there as well, trying to pick up a number. I think it was number 26 on the carry, Nate McCullum.
Yeah, I believe that's who it was too, Mick. Be a sophomore this coming season.
By the way, you like the quarterback running to the sideline between plays, bringing the play in. How do you feel about that?
Well, one thing about it is there shouldn't be any miscommunication.
Yeah.
You know, and Alexandria has done that for a long, long time. You would think that maybe it would be a situation where you might get rushed. Oh, my goodness.
Nobody home on that side of the field, and Tucker is going to score. And I'll be honest, I'm not even sure Alexandria was trying to score on that drive.
I mean, you talk about not playing your keys here. Now, this is just absolutely everybody for the Wellborn defense gets caught on the inside, and Tucker just got all kind of room down the sideline. You know, the people that really did a great job on the play fake there were the lineman and the running back, though. Fooled everybody on the Wellborn defense. But Mickey, back to what you were saying, you would think that might be a situation where you get some penalties for delay of game. But Alexandria has done that so efficiently, or even if you didn't get a penalty for it, you were rushed by the time you got out there. But I tell you, the quarterback gets over there, they get that play and get it in. You don't have to worry about signaling and sometimes the miscommunication that can happen with that. So I would say one-on-one direct contact calling the play is the best way to minimize mistakes, and it has certainly worked for them.
You know, you don't see a lot of teams do it, but there are some who will have their quarterback come over between the plays.
I can see where you're out if you had a big time running quarterback and those kind of things. I might be going, I got this one. Coach, I'll call this one. Save me. I mean, you know, this feels 52 plus yards wide.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on the other hash, you got a lot of extra running going on. But like I say, it has certainly worked for the Valley Cubs.
Now, how far back does that go at Alexandria?
Well, Coach Gim was doing it.
Yeah.
So now I don't think they were doing that when Coach Gales was there, but Larry certainly was.
And Prim misses the extra point. First one they've tried tonight.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in seeing. You know, he didn't kick it badly. He just kicked it wide. I mean, if he kicks it straight, it would have worked. But not this case. But, again, something for you to look at.
So 1:06 remaining in our first half. And it has been all Alexandria.
To see what Wellborn chooses to do after the kickoff return here, because throwing the ball down the field again is not their forte. But we shall see.
Standing back deep. There you see Javion Thomas for Walter Wellborn. And here is Prim's kick. Squibber on the ground, fielded by Kentrez Hunt. And Hunt returns it out to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 Wellborn, 56 seconds left here in the first half.
And Mickey, this is what I'm talking about. Now Wellborn gets to start at the 40-yard line. You probably don't mind that so much with 56 seconds remaining. But again, against most of the opponents that Alexandria is going to be playing, you give them this kind of field position, that, two things happen there. One, they get excellent field position on offense. Two, even if you stop them, they punt it down, you don't have very good field position. So again, hopefully most of the time for the Valley Cubs, they're going to get the kind of results that they have on the previous kickoffs.
And here is Ked Harris sweeping right, still on his feet across midfield down to the Alexandria 42. So
clock stops because of the first down, but Wellborn is out of timeouts here in the first half. Nice running, good job of blocking again at the point of attack.
This young man's a good player. He has been a good player at Wellborn now for a couple of seasons, and they're looking for a big year out of him in 2017. So the clock is winding. Handoff right up the middle. Huge hole as number 5, Jamarian Curry, has got another first down. That stops the clock with 21 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to have to hurry here. Clock starts again. Oh boy, this is taking way too long.
Yeah.
This may be the final play.
Alexandria coaches yelling for the halfback pass. And handoff up the middle. Thomas will carry it down to the 21, but unfortunately Wellborn will run out of time here in the first half. Thomas comes up a little gimpy with that left leg. And that'll take us to halftime. It's been all Alexandria as they lead the Wellborn Panthers by a score of 30-0. Once again, we will have coverage of the F&M football toss contest. It'll be going on here at halftime, so we will have that coming up here shortly. And we also are awaiting an interview with Alexandria head coach Frank Tucker, who is going to be joining Gerhard Methengani down on the field. Go ahead, Gerhard.
All right, Coach, look like you're in mid-season form right now. Talk about this first half performance.
Well, spring games are just so haphazard a lot of times. Yeah, we're playing good, and I'm proud of our crew, the way they're playing. But, both teams, it's hard to get a lot done in 9 days, but I'm proud of the first half that we played.
Every coach talks about having explosive plays and that really being a key part of their game. You've had a lot of those so far. Talk about that aspect of your game, especially on offense.
Yeah, that's what we live by. We've got to have some, home run plays. It's tough to go 10, 12 play drive, but we had some explosive plays, and I'm proud of that. Lions blocked well.
I'll let you get back to your team, Coach. All right, it's Coach Frank Tucker. We'll be back with more of the Calhoun County Spring Jam with the F&M football toss. We'll have that next.
Alabama school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. We have a little fun thing for you at halftime. We have our F&M football toss, and I'm joined here with some F&M representatives and our 2 participants. First off, talk about what's going to happen here over the next 30 seards.
These kids are going to throw as many balls as they can through the hole. If they throw the most, get a $1,000 scholarship. If they have the most by tomorrow night.
So it's a competition really between all the schools for the scholarship, correct?
Correct.
All right, good deal. Let's also meet our participants, guys. First off, tell us your name and what school.
My name is Chandler Cup, and I go to Wellborn High School.
My name is Quentin Bowie, and I go to Alexandria High School.
All right, good deal, guys. I'll let you get down to the footballs. Okay, once again, this is for a $1,000 scholarship brought to you by F&M Bank, and we'll get the contestants ready for it, and they'll start throwing the footballs here. You hear the cheering, and we will have this for you, and we'll start in just a second. I'll tell you what, guys, there's a lot of support down here. All the cheerleaders came down. And we will officially start now. All right, so we have 5 over here with Quentin Bowie and 3 over here. So Quentin looks like, Quentin, are you our winner here? You're our winner here? Congratulations. Okay, one quick question for you. What was the technique? What was going through your mind?
Just get the ball to the hole.
Simple enough, guys. All right, congratulations once again. It's our winner for this one. Once again, we'll have it for our other 2 games as well. That's it for right now. We'll be back with more of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree next.
There's a killer on the loose in Alabama. This won't help you. This won't help you either. Even this won't help you. But this will. Breast cancer affects 1 in 8 women, and the only thing that can catch this killer is early detection with an annual high-quality mammogram. Advanced Imaging in Oxford and Gadsden was the first facility in Alabama to offer 3D digital mammography. Find out more online at alliesinthefight.com. Advanced Imaging, better technology for better health care.
Sure, it seems like there are tons of decisions to be made as you start down your college path. The good news is Gadsden State can help. Online, on the phone, or in person at the new One Stop Center in Gadsden. How much can I save? What career is perfect for me? Help with everything from admissions to financial aid. And when all the answers point towards saving money close to home, you'll see why so many decide to make their first stop, Gadsden State.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed to providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
Hello, I'm Joe Dyer, Superintendent of Calhoun County Schools. We have some awesome news for you that's upcoming in Calhoun County.
And we're back at JSU Stadium, halftime of the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree matchup between Alexandria and Wellborn. The Valley Cubs leading the Panthers 30-0. And now with the halftime activities continuing, we want to go back to the Calhoun County Band Expo from a year ago and show the band performances from the 2 teams competing tonight, Alexandria and Wellborn.
Now taking the field, the Wellborn High School Marching Highlanders. Wellborn's show is titled Fall Out Boy. Drum major Brittany Garcia, is your band ready? Wellborn High School Marching Highlanders, you may now take the field for exhibition.
The 2017 college football season kicks off in Montgomery. The Guardian Credit Union FCS kickoff will open the college football season on Saturday, August 26th at 5 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Don't miss two of the nation's top-ranked FCS teams, the Jacksonville State University Gamecocks and the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs at historic Crampton Bowl. Visit GuardianKickoffClassic.com for the FanFest schedule of events and game information.
You will take more than 672 million breaths throughout your lifetime. Yet life is not measured by the number of breaths you take, but by the moments that take your breath away. JSU is proud to offer Northeast Alabama's only Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Therapy. Now enrolling tomorrow's breathing specialist. Breathe easy.
Alexandria's show is titled Latina Musica, with musical selections including Spirit of the Bull, Malagueña, On the Floor, and Americano. Drum majors Madison Sisson and Aaron Malloy. Is your band ready? Sound of the Valley Marching Band, you may take the field for exhibition.
Live coverage of Wellborn Alexandria. Second half action underway here at the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree. Again, live kicking game for this game. And Woodruff for Alexandria will not even get it back to the 20. You are watching the band performances from Wellborn and Alexandria from the Calhoun County Band Expo last September. So we hope you enjoyed those encore performances here at halftime. And as we get set for the second half, all Alexandria in that first half, Butch, 30-0. They lead Wellborn. The varsity players are scheduled to play this third quarter. Then we will see some of the younger kids play the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, Mickey, if I'm Jeff Smith, I take a positive out of your kicking game, and that was that kickoff as well as the coverage. Alexandria starting at their own 20.
First down at the 20. And Romeo Dye sweeps around the right side and is stuffed at the 21. As you see, a host of black jerseys there to stop his forward progress for a very short gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, and that's one of the few times that Wellborn's won the battle at the line of scrimmage. Like you say, very short game, maybe a yard and a half, and good job by those guys up front defensively for the Panthers on that play.
And Jacob Wells, who spent most of the first half at quarterback, back in there to begin the third quarter.
Tucker, I think, was only in for like 3 plays and may have been the leading rusher for the Valley Cubs because of that big touchdown run.
And nice defensive play there by Jamiron Curry as he caught up to Nate McCallum for a short gain of 2 up to the 23. So 3rd and 7 now for the Valley Cubs.
Yeah, great play. Again, we've talked about Curry and his athletic ability, big, strong guy. Broke through that time and made the tackle defensively. 2 good plays to start this second half on the defensive side for the Panthers.
And there comes Wells jogging in with that play.
Using a lot of the play clock. It ticks down under 10.
Some fans yelling, hurry. They get it off in time. Wells on a keeper. And he will not get the first down. Great pursuit. Walker Hayes coming up from that strong safety spot. He had help from Jamiron Curry. And so that'll bring up 4th down. So the Wellborn defense pitching a 3 and out here to begin third.
And the first punt for Alexandria. So opportunity for them to take a look at their punting game, their kicking game a little bit here, as they never had to punt the ball in the first half.
No, they didn't. Joe Tucker standing back inside his 15. And there you see Spinks, Calvin Spinks, waiting the kick for Wellborn. comes a rush, and Tucker got it out of there. I'm not sure if someone got a hand on that. It rolls across midfield, and Wellborn will start with great field position. Their first drive of the second half at their own 48.
Well, I can tell you right now, Alexandria is going to have to find them somebody that can get that ball back there a little quicker. Tucker had to wait on that one. You got somebody sprinting off the end that's untouched, because by design you don't block that guy, and he almost got in there to block you. You got to get that snap back there a little quicker than he got there then.
Are you saying that you don't need the rusher to outrun that snap?
That's exactly what happened then.
You're in a little bit of a pickle if that happens, aren't you?
You are.
McQueen on a keeper on first down, and he is wrapped up from behind by the Valley Cubs' Sam Shaw for a gain of maybe a yard to the 49.
Yeah, that's not a good spot to be in when the guy at the line of scrimmage who's unblocked is outrunning that ball.
32, Sam Shaw makes a tackle for Alexandria.
Well, Wellborn needs something positive here, I think, especially for these varsity kids, Butch. Obviously, some points would go a long way here for them.
Well, you know, the good thing was their last 3 running plays to end the first half were probably their best 3. Nothing there, though. You know, that's the design on that misdirection play that they had a little success on to end the first half. Well defended this time, though, by the Valley Cubs. We mentioned Burton several times. Makes another good defensive play. And Chafin was in there. Talked about him a lot on offense. He was in there to make that defensive play, too, for the Valley Cubs.
So 3rd down and 8. McQueen rolls out, zips the pass away, and it's complete to Hayes, but he is going to be knocked backwards. Forward progress to the Alexandria 46, going to leave him 3 yards short of a first down.
Yeah, and I look for him to go for it here. Well-designed play, though, just a little. It's kind of a quick out. He kind of made his step inside and then twirled to the outside. Good throw and catch. Short pickup on it, and we said 4th down now and a long 3 yards here. No, Wellborn won't go for it. A little bit surprised by that.
So Smith checks in to punt, gets a good snap here, and
wow,
kicks it away. Fair catch called for inside the 15-yard line by Chafin. So Alexandria gets it back for the second time of the second half. 1st and 10 inside their 15.
Mickey, that looked as though Coach Smith took them in and worked on nothing but pump protection, snap, and kick there. They straightened those mistakes out very quickly. Well executed punt there. Alexandria's going to start deep in their own territory.
2 miscues on the punt team, a turnover inside their own 10, a couple of big runs called back for penalties, and that'll get you in a hole quick.
Yeah, it was not a well-executed first half for the Panthers, and I can promise you they're a lot better football team than that, and folks that play them early in the year better be ready.
And they're so young in spots. There's been a lot of talk about their upcoming 9th grade group and how good they can possibly be in the next few years. I know Coach Smith is very high on them. Alexandria calls a timeout with 7:13 to play here in the 3rd quarter. And we will keep it right here. And I know you've heard about some of those young guys yourself.
Yeah, I have an opportunity to have some dealings with some of those guys that work with their youth programs down there, and they have absolutely dominated the youth leagues down there. And Mickey, it's not like they're playing small communities. They're playing Alexandria and Lincoln and folks that are bigger than them, and yet they've still dominated that league, and not just for a couple of years, but I think pretty much for 4 years in a row. So I think they've got some good folks coming. Like you say, right now, a lot of their more talented players are pretty young, though.
You're going to start seeing some of those young kids playing. We've got some of them playing tonight. We mentioned in the open that they have 3 freshman starters on defense among that group. So here's a little misdirection handoff and a huge gaping hole for the Valley Cub running back that time in the game, number 33, Fletcher Swindle.
Wow, what a nice job of Swindle following his blocks. He actually outruns his lead blocker there, but a nice kick out by his guard that pulled and then cuts back inside that block that he picks up downfield. Got all he could out of that and picks up the first down yardage. That's a big play for the Valley Cubs and devastating for Wellborn after coming up with a couple of really good defensive plays. They give up the big running play.
Here's McCollum. Good lead block into the Wellborn secondary. Crosses up the 45 to about the 47. So a big pickup here for Alexandria and a first down.
McCollum doesn't look like he's a real big guy, but boy, he runs hard. 2 carries, 2 big gains. Again, credit that offensive line, though. They've dominated this game since the beginning.
And we're at the midway point already of the third quarter. First down at the 47 for the Valley Cubs. Here comes a blitz by Jet Smith, the linebacker. He's sacked. He got a hold of the quarterback, but the handoff happened just in time. And I think that's McCallum again, getting about 3 yards out of it up near midfield. And we've got a heat timeout, I believe. Yes, we do. At the 5:42 point of the third quarter as we go to break. Another look at the run here by McCallum. It is all Alexandria here at the Calhoun County Spring Jam.
Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Join us May 19th and 20th for the Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. Come experience Alabama's largest in-water boat show. Test drive pontoons from Bennington, Sun Tracker, Silver Wave, South Bay Regency, and Avalon. Fishing boats from Tracker, Nitro, Express, and Challenger. And personal watercraft from Sea-Doo. Weekend events include fireworks, live music, vendors, and giveaways, including a brand new lake-ready Sun Tracker pontoon boat. May 19th and 20th in Pell City. We'll see you on the lake.
And we are back to JSU Stadium. And McCollum on the carry on second down. Picks up a couple to the Wellborn 48. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Number 45, Deontay Curry makes the tackle.
Tucker in at quarterback again for Alexandria.
Milking that play clock. First man through there is going to be very close to the first down. That is number 60. Don't see that very often. We got 2 number 60s, so. So we'll check on that for you. 4th down in less than a yard. Joe Tucker is coming back onto the field with the play at the 44-yard line, so 4th and a half yard for Alexandria. This third quarter's melting away quickly.
We haven't had a ball thrown in the third quarter. I don't think. Well, yeah, Wellborn threw the one out, didn't they? But I believe that's it.
And the Valley Cubs take the delay of game. It'll back them up 5, and they'll go ahead and choose to punt the football with 4:11 to play here in the third.
All right, let's see if we get a little better snap this time. I'm gonna tell you, if you're not able to get the ball back here more quickly, you literally are going to have to move your punter up closer and make him do a one step and get rid of it, because you can't wait this long on this ball.
There you see Joe Tucker. He's ready.
He better be.
We've seen all kind of kicks, and that's
wow.
That one goes all the way into the end zone.
He's going to get credit for a long punt there. I don't think it ever got above 4 yards high, but rolled all the way into the end zone. So Wellborn will take over at the 20-yard line. Only 3:56 remaining here in this third quarter. And as Mickey's mentioned, fourth quarter, the JV guys come in. Score will stay the same, but pretty much start over with some of the younger guys.
You know, tomorrow night we've got live coverage of the other two games. You've got at 4:30 we will have Pleasant Valley and White Plains. And then at 7:30 you'll have the host school this year, Sachs, taking on the 8th and visiting team to the Calhoun County Spring Jam, Russellville. Should be a very interesting matchup tomorrow night to wrap things up. New quarterback in for Wellborn, as it appears Austin McQueen's night is done, and that is number 16, Walker Hayes. Gain of 2, second down and 8. Both sides already getting some new players in there late in the third quarter. Spinks trying to get around that corner and just cannot do so. Outstanding defense there by Alexandria. They just strung it out, and finally finishing off the play was Sam Shaw.
I just kept having white jerseys coming in there. He was able to make about 3 guys miss, Mickey, but just too many of them kept coming.
That was one of those plays that looked like they had 20 and you had 10.
It did. You're right.
Third down and 11. And we had some early movement. Call it against, false start against the offense.
Talked about in the first half how Wellborn hates to get in these third and long. This is third and very long. They've got about 16 yards to try to pick up on this third down play.
And another pre-snap penalty. So we swap 5-yard penalties and we're right back where we were a moment ago.
Third and 11. We definitely have a lot of new players already in the game for Wellborn.
Hayes hands off up the middle. Kentrez Hunt out to the 23, and that'll make it 4th down and 7. So Wellborn sends on the punting unit once again. There you see Jet Smith back at his 10 to kick. Alexandria doesn't even have anyone back to receive this. This one hits right at the 49-yard line and basically comes to a stop right there, about the 48. So Alexandria will have it 1st and 10 with 1:17 to play here in the third quarter. So before we get into all younger kids in that fourth quarter, we've talked a lot about Wellborn and their youth and the outstanding 9th grade group they've got coming up and that type of thing. And Alexandria, though, last year they missed the playoffs for the first time in a while. It's very unusual for Alexandria not to at least get to the postseason. What do you think about what you see from the Valley Cubs tonight?
I think they've got a couple of things working for them, Mickey. They've got some size. They've got some talent in their running back positions. And I think they've got a little bit better receiving core, especially with the fact that you're moving Tucker out there and he's not your quarterback all the time, a great go-to for some time. and Wells has impressed me with his ability to throw the ball. So I think they're going to be a little more multidimensional on the offensive side, and it looks like they're going to be pretty formidable on the defensive side and with that offensive line in there too.
Fletcher Swindle got around the corner and took it a long way here.
I tell you what, there's a couple of little guys here that Alexandria's got that run the ball hard. Swindle here, and McCollum also. They've got a lot of guys back there you can hand the ball to and feel confident.
Under a minute to play here in the third quarter.
I think in their region too, Mickey, again, speaking of Alexandria, I think in their region, they're at the top of it. You've got Etowah, who's going to be a really good football team, I believe. I think it may come down to Alexandria and Etowah battling for it. I don't know that there's anybody else in there. I'm going to jump out and say I expect them to have a great year as far as competing for that championship. So I think Alexandria's opportunities going into the season are a little bit better, plus the fact that it looks like we've got a little better version of the Valley Cup team potentially on the field here tonight.
Second down and 5. Give up the middle. And the ball carrier spins inside the 15 for the final play of the third quarter. So that'll take us to the end of 3 and the end of the varsity portion of this game. We'll come back with the fourth quarter from the Calhoun County Spring Jam here at JSU Stadium.
One sound, one school, one family. Walter Wellborn High School Student Council. Go Panthers!
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
And welcome back to JSU Stadium. Mickey Shadricks, Butch Barker, Gerhard Mathangani with you from the Calhoun County Spring Jam as we are in the first day of action. Earlier today, Weaver and Ohatchee squared off. Weaver won that one, and here it's Pinal Alexandria in this one against Wellborn. And we head into the fourth quarter with some of the young kids getting on to the field now. Alexandria will have it 1st and 10. That is number 31, Travis Chastain, for a nice gain on first down of about 6 yards.
Chastain will be a freshman next year. All right, the quarterback got to the sideline, got back to the huddle, making there was still 20 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time.
Second down and 4. Nice hit that time on Chastain by the Wellborn defender. I think that was number 20, Logan Brooks.
Yep, I believe that was who it was. He was outside linebacker position.
And there's the play call being sent in to the quarterback, Ethan Barnes. On 3rd down and 2. Well, things have cooled off nicely here. It was hot earlier today. Give up the middle. Nice job there by the running back. There was nothing right up the middle that time for C.J. Orr. He bounced it outside and got a first down.
Actually like the way he hit it up in there, Mickey. 3rd down, very short. You want him to hit it up in there hard, but then bounced it out without giving up yardage. You know, a lot of times you'll see people give up yardage and also potentially give up first down yardage. He didn't do that. Maintained that first down yardage at all the time, but were able to pick up 4 or 5 extra yards on the play.
First down at the 41. And Barnes handing off to, I think that is Curry. Tackle from behind after a gain of 3.
Yeah, Curry actually got caught from behind, like you said. Picked up a few more yards there if he didn't do quite as much stutter stepping, trying to make up his mind which way to break, and actually had one of the defenders get him from behind.
So second down and 7. Valley Cubs have moved it out to the 44. Barnes on the handoff.
Great teaching point when you go back and review this video. Your lineman who pulled out on that play, you had 2 different guys that came out to block. Mickey, once they got 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, they stopped and waited on the defender to come to them. You got to go on and attack that defender, and that way you've got the opportunity to make that a big play. As it was, it picks up pretty good yardage, but again, if you're that pulling blocker, you get out there and attack the defender, you've got an opportunity for that to turn into a big hole and a big run by your running back.
Third down and 1 from midfield. Barnes hands it off, and it is a first down and much more as the ball carrier takes it all the way down to the Wellborn 32, and that is Jacob Wills on the carry.
Good hard running by Wills. Tell you what, he just ran through a couple of attempted tackles there. 32, that's Neely, comes over and makes the tackle for the Panthers.
So a pretty good drive underway here for the Alexandria Valley Cubs to start the 4th quarter. They've already chewed up 4 minutes off the clock here. Give up the middle. Just a nice surge by that offensive line, and nice game by the ball carrier that time, number 42, Elijah McGee.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you on the positive side now, when you're same time watching that video, was the way that offensive line kept their feet driving that time. Kind of had a little bit of a stalemate, but because those guys keep their feet driving, the defender reaches to make the tackle. Now you get some push. You end up picking 5 yards up, maybe 6 on that simple running play.
Second down. Nice hole for Jacob Wills coming over the left side. He's going to have a first down, but
flag came in late. Probably going to be holding. You look at use of hands blocking the back. Still ended up picking up a yard on the play, Mickey. But excellent blocking that time, like you said, at the point of attack. Gaping hole there for Wills to run through.
Yeah, you never want a hold to happen, but if it's going to happen, when it's down the field, that spot of the foul makes it a little easier to stomach.
Yeah, doesn't hurt you quite as badly.
Second and 3.
Whoa.
Nowhere to go that time for Elijah McGee. That time that was the Wellborn defensive front winning the battle as number 45, Keontae Curry, kind of pushed the center backwards into the ball carrier.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that time complete domination by Wellborn's defensive front. All those black jerseys were a yard deep in the backfield.
They keep it on the ground. that is Jacob Wills on the carry. Takes it just inside the 25. He'll be about 2 yards short. So they'll set up 4th and 2. This drive now at 6 minutes and counting.
Yeah, you talk about controlling the clock. And I guess after this play, you'll have a heat timeout again if they stay consistent with that. Like you say, it really has cooled off, though.
And we've got a movement by the wide receiver, going to cost him 5.
And that another teaching point. The guy who should never jump offside is your wide receiver. And you say, well, why is he different from everybody else? Because he's not listening to the count. He's watching the football, or he's supposed to be.
And let me give you even more reason why he should not have moved. It's a running play.
You're right. But, yeah, you don't expect him to be out there trying to hear the snap count from way out there. You just watch the football. So, again, one of those learning situations.
Heat timeout coming at 5:42 of the 4th quarter.
You know, you're talking about Alexandria keeping the ball this time. If they pick up his first down, we could go through this whole 12-minute period and Wellborn never get the football.
That's a crew, isn't it?
Well, I don't even want to go there. Coach Farlow, Coach Welch.
Look at Coach Welch in the hat.
Coach Welch.
I mean, goodness. Jacob, he was a good player in his day.
Yeah. Zach's over there too. His brother, older brother, outstanding football player, outstanding basketball player, and of course ended up playing at the University of Alabama in baseball.
So you're trying to say football is a family tradition out in the Valley?
Yeah, those guys definitely contributed, and there's a lot of them like that. You know, you can say this last name, and you already know. Hey, I remember when. You know, whether it's their cousins, uncles, whatever.
And they go for it still on 4th down, and they're going to get it as Travis Chastain got around the corner. Good seal blocking also. It's going to be 1st down at the 17-yard line, and the Valley Cubs drive keeps going.
Yep, and again, Mickey, when this ball snapped, it's going to be real close to 5 minutes remaining in this quarter. So the Valley Cubs will have already used up 7 minutes on this drive.
So Barnes under center. And leaves it with Elijah McGee, who is knocked backwards. There you see number 45, Keontae Curry, making another play. That young man's had a couple of nice plays from his defensive end spot.
Yeah, he's quick off the football. Alexandria's been able to catch him with a couple of guys coming, you know, when he's actually penetrated too far up the field, and the runner was able to cut inside him. But another good defensive play by him. Like you said, I know it's been 3 or 4 times we've already mentioned his name.
2nd down and 10. And this is number 39 on the carry. That's Barrett Cohealy. Tripped up for a short gain of 2, so it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Another freshman to be, and good little burst there when Cohealy got the ball. Got tripped up. Brings up 3rd down and about 7. Have to move it down inside the 8-yard line to pick up the 1st down.
Barnes will keep it. Got some room in front of him. But a nice job by Wellborn's Max Searcy. There you see him, came up and made the hit and saved 1st down there. So it'll be 4th down and 2 at the 10.
Yeah, it looked like when he came off the corner there that he had a shot of getting that 1st down yardage, but nice closure that time by your defensive back. Drop him short of the 1st down yardage that was needed.
Barnes hands off, and the back is, that is Wills. Kind of tried, oh, correction, that is number 39, Kohili. Tried to go airborne and got knocked backwards there by Wellborn's Bailey Neely.
That's a true example of the give but don't break, as the Panthers stand tough there on that big 4th down play and take over with only 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go in this quarter.
So an 8-minute and 58-second drive stalls at the 10.
Wow.
So the Wellborn B team players come in on offense with 3 minutes to work with here. And the quarterback, number 10, Evan Beatles. And the handoff to Logan, no correction, that is Justin Berry. Gain of 5.
Good blocking at the point of attack that time. Had a little bit more room to run than we've been seeing for the Panthers. A really, really tight split. Almost no splits at all by that offensive line.
Beatles keeps. Had some room, but somebody had him from behind. I believe that was Alexandria's Caleb Boyd. So gain of 3. That'll make it 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, if Boyd's not able to make that tackle, there's some room to run there. And I'm going to tell you, Wellborn's got to be a little bit careful that they let those guys get set. You know, they stand up, then they go down, Mickey. You got to be set a second before you snap the ball. Take a look here and see if, yeah, they definitely were down there long enough that time.
And breaking through there for the 1st down is Tiquan Thomas. Thomas chased down from behind by Jonathan Morrow. But it's a big 1st down run for the Panthers down to the Alexandria 49.
Same misdirection play we've seen from both of these teams. 2 pulling blockers out in front. The misdirection gets the defenders going the wrong way. And big pickup inside Alexandria territory with 1:45 remaining.
Beatles leaves it with the back. Once again, that's Justin Berry on the carry. Not much room at all as Connor Norris wraps him up for no gain at the 49. Second down and 10. Give right up the middle, huge gaping hole. And Josh Rittenhouse takes advantage of it all the way down to the Alexandria 26-yard line. Another 1st down for the Wellborn Panthers.
Yeah, and Broadwell able to make the tackle, or else he's in the end zone. Good blocking on the quick little trap. And there's Broadwell. If he doesn't get him, nobody does.
Number 87, Peyton Broadwell makes the tackle.
Misdirection again.
This is Thomas inside the 15 down to the 11, a gain of 14. They stop the clock with 45 seconds while they move the chains. It is another Wellborn 1st down. You know, the Panthers would love to break through and get that 0 off the scoreboard.
I'll make these young guys feel really good about themselves, that's for sure. Nice drive here. Remember, this thing started down inside of their own 10-yard line.
The give to Logan Hill. Hard running inside the 5 to about the 4. And Wellborn is going to call a timeout.
That's a first, so they've got 2 remaining. So plenty of time, even though there's only 21 seconds. Plenty of time to get this thing in the end zone.
It'll be 2nd down and a long 2. They can get a 1st down just inside the 2. That 0's been on that scoreboard Long time tonight for the Wellborn Panthers. They're not used to that. So here we go. Second down and about 3. Football just inside the 5. And nothing doing as Thomas on the same play as we saw a moment ago. He was met in the hole by a host of Valley Cub
Got a
defenders.
flag on the play too, Mickey. So it's going to back them up 5 yards. Give them an extra down, but I definitely think Alexandria will take the penalty here. Oh, declined? No way.
Well, the official said decline, but they marked off the penalty.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to take the penalty there. They're down inside your 4-yard line. You got to back them up. I think we're going to get a correction here.
Wellborn burning another timeout. A reminder, we'll be on the air at 4:30 tomorrow. We'll have Pleasant Valley and White Plains, and then we'll stay on the air and have live coverage of the second game tomorrow night between Sacs and Russellville.
It'll be interesting to see at Sacs and Russellville one, especially to me, and also like to see how Pleasant Valley's doing because they showed some improvement last year. See if that trend's kind of continuing with Coach Nix out there, or you know, if they're taking a step back. So look forward to kind of seeing both of those games tomorrow.
Hand off up the middle. That is Rittenhouse.
Well, we're going to probably use their final timeout, and they do. And what will probably be the final play of this ball game coming up.
Rittenhouse losing a shoe. It'll be 3rd down, but it really doesn't matter. They need 5 yards to get in the end zone. That's all they're concerned about.
You're right. Anything short of that, and time's going to run out.
Had some good attendance tonight for both games. A lot of folks taking in the football.
And Mickey, I think that the people that have the concessions are really glad that you schedule this where it's kind of starts before people get a chance to eat supper.
That's
and
right.
You know, we've had a couple of people talk about the big lines at the concession area.
Here we go. Beatles rolling out, and he will be taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and that will end the game.
Number 84 there with a great job of hanging on to make that tackle. I believe that's Landon Wells.
So Alexandria shuts out the Wellborn Panthers here at this Calhoun County Spring Jam, 30-0 final score. You see both teams shaking hands at the 50-yard line. We will keep it right here and look to get a word with the coaches down on the field. And Gerhard Mathangani is standing by down on the field, and he is going to try to get an interview. I think we're going to try to get both coaches to speak with us here. And I think he's ready now. Let's send it down to the field and check in with Gerhard.
All right, guys, we have both Coach Jeff Smith and Coach Frank Tucker. We'll start with Coach Jeff Smith first. First off, Coach, you rolled the dice and you played a really good, strong 5A opponent. Talk about, well, your observations from today's game.
Well, I tell you what, everybody watch out for Alexandria because they got a really good team, and Coach Tucker and his staff's done an outstanding job with them, and they're tough, and they're going to do well this year. And we came out here tonight. We made some mistakes, but we're playing some young players, and you can practice all you want to, but till you put them under the lights in a competitive situation, you don't know how they're going to react, and they've got to get the experience. We started 3 freshmen and a sophomore on defense and 4 sophomores on offense, and they've just got to play. They had a good spring training and everything, and they just had to come. They had to come out here and bow up and play a really good football team tonight. But you know what? We'll get better because of this.
Absolutely. Talk about the next couple of months, what they look like, off-season training program as you get your boys ready for the fall.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to bring them in tomorrow and watch the film, and then I'm going to give them 2 weeks off, and we start back June 5th, and we're just going to get to work. And again, we got some young guys. It's going to take some time, and they're just going to have to get out here and get some experience. We get to kick the season back off here at Jacksonville State versus North Jackson. That's going to be an exciting game right there, and we got a couple months to get them better, and that's what we plan on doing.
You actually tapped into my next question about your first game right back here in this venue. How much was this experience going to help that experience playing back under the lights here in just a few months?
Well, I just think anytime that you got young players like we got this year, I think every day they get better. And, and we had a good spring. We really did. We got better every day in spring training. We just came out here against a very good football team that's solid. And, we'll get better because of that. I'd much rather play a game like this than come out here and be a runaway on the other side. So this will help us. And look, our future's bright. And I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good stuff. Coach, see you down the road.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations. And also we're here with Coach Frank Tucker of Alexandria. Yeah, sure. We'll let the guys talk for just a second. And a lot of these schools now also play 7-on-7 games as well. So a lot of summer training and a lot of trying to get together, maybe get some inter-squad games going on in the summertime. It's really huge in high school football. You have a lot more dates now. The AHSAA has allowed a lot more dates for these things and being able to get teams together in different competitive venues. So I'm sure that's what they were talking about. Coach, we saw your first 2 quarters and saw your last 2 quarters. Your observations just overall from this game?
Well, the first thing, I'm, just happy that we came out and did what we were supposed to do. Wellborn, is young, but they're so hard-nosed and tough. It was good for us to get hit in the mouth a few times by them. But I was proud of our team, but it don't mean nothing. It's just spring games. Sometimes spring games you play bad and end up playing better in the fall. Sometimes you get a big head after this. So we did what we were supposed to do, and hopefully we can, improve on it.
What's the mentality and some of the things that you'll work on as you head for the fall?
Well, like I was telling the coach a while ago, we had a good spring game last year and a good fall jamboree, and we didn't do too good. And I think a lot of it we got content based on this game. So we can't be content, because if we do, we'll have another slow start next year.
Absolutely. 7-on-7s, summer workouts, all that.
Yeah.
Talk about the training schedule, because it's a lot different than what it used to be.
Yeah, we'll take a couple of weeks off. We got graduation coming up, and then a lot of them go somewhere after graduation. So, but then we'll get back in it. The basketball and baseball, they have 3 weeks, and then after their 3 weeks is up, football has 3 weeks, and then it's 4th of July, and then next thing you know, it's season. So we'll continue to work and hopefully do right and get better for the first game next year.
Good stuff, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll see you down the road. Coach Frank Tucker of the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Gerhard. Great job tonight. And Butch, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, like both coaches mentioned, Mickey, you never know what effect it's going to have on your team. I think Jeff was exactly right that his bunch will get out there and work harder because of this, knowing they've got a lot to do to get ready. I think Coach Tucker last year felt like his bunch did really well in the spring in that first jamboree game and kind of felt real good about themselves and quit working as hard. I don't think that'll happen with this group. They hated making it last year, so I look for this team to really compete for that region championship come fall.
All right, that'll wrap up our coverage on day 1 of the Calhoun County Spring Jam. We will be with you again tomorrow, 4:30 airtime for White Plains and Pleasant Valley, followed by Sachs and Russellville here on the Calhoun County Spring Jamboree from JSU Stadium. For Butch Barker, Gerhard Mathangani, our entire crew, so long from Jacksonville. See you again right here tomorrow night.